What's going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to the APA. It has been a long time since I've welcomed you to the APA, so welcome. This week, this is the week number 1, we are going up against Josh, aka Ultra Player, and his Philly Soldu. I don't know why it says it like that. It's so funny to me. Anyway, going into this matchup, I'm petrified, one, because Josh... So Leo described Josh as very hit or miss. When he's hit, it's like you're getting punched by Superman. But if he's miss, he's just really, really off. Like, he's really off. So, knowing that Josh is so strong whenever he's on his game, it makes it terrifying because he's typically pretty strong on week 1. He's excited to use new mons, things like that. And his team is very interesting versus mine. In general, I think I have one of the best matchups versus Josh in the entire team in the entire league except for one Pokemon. And that is Kommo-o. I think that Kommo-o is forced. It is forced to come this week as a Spadef set because it is his only switch in to Venusaur. If I get the sun up, right, and I'm going to town, I don't even need a growth up, and I OHKO everything on my opponent's entire team outside of Skuntank and Rhydon. Everything else dies. Like, it just straight up falls over. Gmax Hatterene is 2-shot, assuming that he still has his Gmax available, but if I still out his Gmax, then it's not. So this week, Venusaur has a phenomenal matchup. It has an absolutely phenomenal matchup. But it does force Kommo-o to come as a very Spadef variant. I also think that my Charizard has a pretty good matchup. It's pretty unique, just in general, what it can do this game, because it does have, like, fire, flying, grass, fire. Don't have coverage for Rapidash, but then it's like grass. Skuntank doesn't want to switch into Gmax Wildfire, and then I can run coverage for Hatterene. So I do think that my Charizard also has a really good matchup, but after that, I'm struggling to decide on what I want to bring. But I know that I want to build around my Sun Core, because my 3 Sun Mons have a phenomenal matchup. Torkoal has a pretty good matchup. It outslows Hatterene and Trick Room, meaning I can get off a decent chunk of damage if he sets up Trick Room for me. I can, like, go for an Eruption or something like that. But yeah, so there's just a bunch of stuff this game that's really difficult for me to just put a pinpoint onto everything that he could bring. He also has Blastoise, which is very difficult for me to handle. It is very difficult for me to handle. So I'm actually pretty nervous about this game in general. But let's go ahead and start out with what I'm going to be bringing this week. We're going to be bringing Kyurem. First off, Flash Cannon, Roost, Freeze Dry, Earth Power, Leftovers, 116 special attack. This guarantees that I 2-shot or 1-shot literally everything on my opponent's entire team. That is not an exaggeration. I 2-shot or 1-shot literally everything on the entire team. Things like Heliolisk rely on Focus Blast. Things like Kommo-o don't want to stay on Freeze Dry. Melmetal, if it's weakened and not Assault Vest, it doesn't want to take Earth Powers. Excelgor can't really touch me, and I can just roost up damage pretty much until Kingdom Come. I can do so much damage with this Pokemon that it's absolutely insane. I even 2-shot Gmax Hatterene. So as long as he's not Gmaxed. If he is Gmaxed, I do like 30% or so. So it is very strong, this game. It has a phenomenal matchup, and I think it can actually put in a lot of work. I wanted to run Boots, but then I realized that I have a way of always guaranteeing that my opponent can't set up hazards on me, so I went with that instead. I did also want to bring Rapid Spin, just in case. I'm bringing Max Fizdef, Rocky Helmet, Torkoal. This is for the sole purpose of being able to chip down Melmetal on his own. By switching in to Melmetal, he's going to be taking Rocky Helmet damage, which I believe does 1/8 every turn, 1/6. Every single time that he touches me, meaning he can go for 3 double Iron Bashes. 3 double Iron Bashes, that is it. And then he's dead. I mean, he'll live on 1 HP, but he won't be able to take hits very well. So, Rocky Helmet with fully Fizdef means that I live 3 of them with my Torkoal after... No, I live 2 of them after Stealth Rocks, 3 of them without Stealth Rocks guaranteed. Rapid Spin, Flamethrower, Solar Beam, Stealth Rock. I have Solar Beam there just for Rhydon, just in case. might actually change this. I have enough speed to underspeed Hatterene, guaranteed. I might take off Solar Beam for sub. I think I'm going to take off Solar Beam for sub. Substitute is there. Actually, no. I'm going to get rid of Rapid Spin. Solar Beam is there just to ensure that Blastoise can't set up on me. I thought it was there for Rhydon, but it wasn't. It was there for Blastoise specifically. So, very, very, very cool Pokemon this week. I need to change Substitute in game. And, yeah. Next up, I'm actually going to skip around a little bit, and I'm going to go to my Hatterene. And the reason why I'm going to my Hatterene next is because this Pokemon is how I'm going to stop Stealth Rocks from ever getting up on my side of the field. My opponent has 2 Stealth Rockers. He has Kommo-o and he has Rhydon. That means that my opponent will be going for either 1, Stealth Rocks with this Kommo-o, which I quad resist stabs, or Stealth Rocks with Rhydon, which I can actually live 2 Adamant Max Attack Earthquakes with this set. So I can guaranteed live 1, switch in, bounce back Stealth Rocks, or if he goes for 2 Earthquakes, predicting the hard read, I go for Giga Drain, get all of my health back because my health is actually abysmal. And then I'm able to do a lot of damage. I also have Draining Kiss to get my health back versus the Kommo-o. And this is how I plan on forcing in the Melmetal, because Melmetal is going to want to come in pretty much every single time on a Draining Kiss. I'll get a little bit of chip damage off on it. I'll go into my my Torkoal, and then I will just go to town that way. I also do have another switch into Melmetal just in case to ensure that my Torkoal is never too weak, and that's kind of what I'm going to do. I do have to watch out for like Heavy Slam Rhydon. I don't know if it gets it. I'll have to double check that, but I think it does. I know it gets Iron Head, so I want to double check and make sure that I can live 2 of those, but I think Max Attack Adamant Earthquake is stronger than 2 Iron Heads. I think. I'll have to double check my math on that here in just a minute, actually. Hatterene versus Rhydon. I don't guarantee live, but it's like 23% chance if he's Max Attack Adamant. Iron Head has a really good shot to two-shot me if he's Max Attack. However, Earthquake into Iron Head does not. And Giga Drain does 103 if he's like really offensive. So I think I'm just going to stick with this. The 36 in Special Attack is what guarantees that for Rhydon. It's like it guaranteed kills after rocks, I think, or 2 hits of rocks. But yeah, and I did have Stealth Rock on my own Torkoal. So that's kind of what this thing is designed for. It's designed to keep off Stealth Rocks and pressure my opponent's team to ensure that I'm never able, or they never have an opportunity to get up Stealth Rocks versus me. Next up, we have my G-Max Zard. I actually have a really good matchup with speed tiers because I outspeed, I believe it's Kommo-o with this. Yes, Kommo-o with this, and everything else I would outspeed anyway. So he doesn't have anything closer to force me to run Modest, or I'm sorry, Timid or Jolly. So what I'm doing is I'm running Mild with 84 special attack investment. This guaranteed kills everything on his entire team pretty much with my Fire Flying Grass coverage, aside from Hatterene. Now, Hatterene cannot take a max Iron Tail to save its life. It does so much damage, and if I'm able to stall it out with Substitute from my Torkoal, then I'm able to do a lot of damage, like a lot of damage, and that's kind of where this thing comes in. It's there just in case his Hatterene ever gets set up, if it sets up Trick Room, anything like that. I want to make sure it can never go for Trick Room plus Calm Mind, literally ever, and that's kind of what I did with everything to be able to pressure it. This can kind of sort of pressure it with Mystical Fire, meaning that it'll never be able to set up special attacks. This can pressure it with Sub plus Flamethrower, and then this can pressure it with Flash Cannon. And then next up, we of course have Vikavolt. Now, Vikavolt is very special this game because it is another check to both Melmetal and Kommo-o. It's also a decent check to his Heliolisk, along with his bird, owl thing. Decidueye. There we go. This thing is intended to be able to help me switch into everything, and it's also intended to be able to do as much damage as possible to ensure that my Venusaur can sweep with this Pokemon getting the chip damage off that it needs to get. Volt Switch guaranteed that if he's not Assault Vest Melmetal, I kill him with Weather Ball from my Venusaur next time I come in. 2 Air Slashes guaranteed that he's in range of an Earth Power from my Venusaur. 1 Air Slash if I get up a Growth with my Venusaur. Volt Switch kills Blastoise from this health if he is not White Herb. And then Air Slash also does enough damage to Decidueye to guarantee that it dies to a Weather Ball if I'm not boosted. This also does a lot of damage to Rhydon as well. Forces Rhydon to run a little bit of speed, and I can hit it up with an Energy Ball as well. And I Volt Switch on Hatterene to waste a Dynamax turn or get some chip damage off before he Dynamaxes. So really crucial set to this entire build this week. And as you can see, I'm not bringing boots on any of my Stealth Rock's weaknesses because I have that much confidence in my Hatterene being able to stop Stealth Rocks from ever coming up. And the second it dies, I need to go like straight up on the offensive and never allow my opponent to get the chance to set up Stealth Rocks. So and then last but not least, we of course have Banjo, the Venusaur, and if you don't understand that reference, it's because it's not a real reference. It's literally Venusaur reminds me of the sticks. It reminds me of the woods near my house, and it always scares me whenever I'm driving down the road and I hear a banjo playing. So, and I'm hoping that Venusaur will scare my opponents just as much as banjos scare me. So we have Giga Drain, Earth Power, Weather Ball, and Growth. Now, big question, why aren't you running Sludge Bomb? Well, I don't need it. The only thing I would need it for would be Hatterene, and Hatterene I plan on dealing with this bad boy along with this bad boy and like chipping it down, primarily with this bad boy. So I'm not going to potentially waste a win con on a roll from a Hatterene. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. And Hatterene can't have leftovers. So I mean, the only recovery it gets is from Draining Kiss or Life Dew. So and as you can see, I have 3 things that resist Draining Kiss, so it should never like be super healthy. So my goal is to be able to get a Growth up versus something like the Heliolisk or like the Excelgor, and then just to go to town with this Pokemon. Giga Drain, Earth Power, Weather Ball does so much damage to my my opponent's entire team that I'm hoping that even if I don't get a Growth up, I can still do a lot of damage. And that is going to be the team that I'm bringing versus Josh and his filly Soldew. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like down below for me. Also, make sure you check out my opponent. His links will be down in the description below. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye-bye.